the truth. And this show is about me channeling for you, helping you understand what's going on right now in the world, what's going on in your life. And this is also where I answer questions from viewers from all over the world. So if you have a question that you want me to channel the answer to, no matter what platform you're on, you can email me, DearSiddiqi at SiddiqiRay.com. It's right down there, DearSiddiqi at SiddiqiRay.com. I got to make that in a darker font. So coming to you today in my pajamas. Look at this cute little onesie I've got on. Yep, I've got on a little velour onesie. And quite frankly, I messed up the time. So this is me, no makeup, no hair, no production, just coming to you raw and real this morning. Because why? Because consistency is the key. Now, in the last episode, I mentioned that I was going to be giving you some predictions for 2023 and what's up with business. So since there are no questions, I'm going to dive into a couple of those predictions. If you have a question, you can write it in the chat. Yeah, it is comfy. It's so comfy. Look, it's so cute. Like it goes all the way down. Yep. It's got a little hood. Love it. This is a homage to my grandmother, Faye, who used to wear velour tracksuits with like long nails and big gold jewelry and the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to channel Faye today. So if you have a question, write it in the chat. Your name does not show up here on my end, but I will definitely channel any questions you have. Again, apologize the raw appearance, but hey, sometimes it's good to see behind the scenes, right? See what it looks like when I just roll out of bed and make some vegan muffins, which is what I was doing right before this. If you want a really good recipe for vegan muffins, let me know. I will send it your way. So good, so juicy. So let's jump into the predictions for 2023. I have them written in my phone because I was meditating on it earlier, and I have a whole bunch of things to say about what is going to be going on. And the first thing that I want to share with you is that COVID has been hard. This whole period in time has been extraordinary. Undoubtedly, you've been going through your own extraordinary circumstances in your life, probably with your health, definitely in your relationships, with money, in business. And this is a time of year where we all set goals for the next year. But before we do that, I want us to all just pause on the goal setting for a moment, because there's something that's super important as the foundation of 2023 that I want to bring forward today as part one of a 3 series of my predictions for 2023. So part one is we need to address and acknowledge the expired versions of yourself. What do I mean by that? Address the expired versions of yourself. There are parts of you, dear one, and I'm just starting to channel this, that are no longer valid for where you're going. They no longer serve the ultimate purpose of you expressing yourself, which is another big trend for 2023, is moving into a more pure, unadulterated expression of yourself. So the expired versions of yourself are wanting to be honored. They're wanting to be acknowledged, wanting to be consciously blessed and sent on their way. Let me give you an example. So for instance, I've really identified in the past as, I'm this photographer, and really led with photography as my core area of competency. And the expired version is the part of me that needs to tell you, that I've photographed the Dalai Lama 14 times, and I've worked with the Kennedys. Oh my God, this velour is hot. I'm like burning up in here. I'm pitting out my new velour tracksuit. So all the parts where we've clung to some kind of formal identity to feel as if we belong, as if we are valid, as if that's what people need to hear to participate in the magic that we have to offer. 2023 is an invitation for you to let go of those expired versions of yourself, the parts that you clung to for the words are coming so fast. I'm like, and slow down. The parts that we clung to for notoriety, for accomplishment, to climb the corporate ladder, the people, places, things, and situations that we hung our hats on as this is what I am. And we led with it. It's like, this is what I am. I am a professional photographer. I am a coach. I am a whatever it is that you are, a doctor. And to really let go of that as the core identity, because we are not what we do. We are not what we have studied. We are not what we have practiced even. We are constantly evolving and becoming. And in order to take the quantum leap into the next level of global consciousness, and I know that sounds really big, but honestly, we have struggled for the past couple of years. Everybody on some level has really struggled with what's going on, and it's time to let go of the struggle. Part of the identity is not just who you are in the world and what you do. Part of the identity is about the wounding experience that we've all had as spiritual beings in human form. And the expired version of ourself is wanting to be blessed and sent on its way. So the first assignment for today, moving into 2023, before you go and make your next vision board, what parts of yourself are you willing to assemble, name, recognize, bless, and send on their way? I want you to imagine that when I was in India, there was a festival and they had these beautiful big banana leaves, and they would put incense and flowers and some, a beautiful arrangement on this banana leaf. And then you would put a prayer on it or something you wanted to let go of. And at night, in a candle, and at night, we would send these banana boats off into the Ganges, the river in India. And we would send it off to the spirits. And if you are listening to this, this is your invitation to do a ritual of I'm letting go of these parts of myself. I'm blessing them. I'm sending them out back to where they came from. And I'm no longer needing to hold on to those old identities in order to move forward with my purpose, with my mission, with my fullest expression of myself. So part number one is a ritual where we let go and bless those parts that have served us so well. They've served you to get you here, even your wounds, even your wounding and your identification with, being broken, being fundamentally whatever it is that you've called yourself on some level. For me, it's like, I'm an addict, recovering addict. So even those identities are asking to be blessed and let go of. Doesn't mean that you're not needing to attend to those parts of yourself and be aware of the wounding, but it's like we're not identifying as the wounded individual. We're not leading with the competency, nor are we leading with the wound. Does that make sense? So it's time, I wrote down here, time for new light codes to be downloaded, for a new time to pass, and for you to go into the next level of your purpose. Again, we're going to get into the light codes next week. We're going to get down with the downloads next week. I'm just giving you kind of the heads up. So besides this ritual, the next most important thing is rest and rejuvenation, and giving space for all that has passed to be integrated. Many of us, I know I'm just getting over my umpteenth bout of COVID and a respiratory infection. And I feel like this year I've gotten my ASS handed to me on a platter with my health. It's been like literally 6 months of this year I've been out, whether it was through eye surgery or respiratory stuff or COVID. It's been an initiation, to say the least. And what is being required now, again, before you go and start to think about your next launch, before you start to plan your next this, that, and the other thing, really, really, really make sure that you are rested and integrated in this letting go of the old identity, and just give some clean airspace in between switching the channels. so that you can really allow these new light codes that are going to be coming in. They are already coming in for 2023 to rejuvenate you. But some of us, we're not at rejuvenation yet. We're still at, I'm just resting. I've been taken out by life. I've been taken out by the situations. I think in one of the previous episodes, I mentioned that during COVID, I had all my stuff moved from my beautiful loft space in LA into storage. And I got to LA recently for a soul portrait trip, and everything had been stolen. And it was so beyond shocking. But my first thought was, I guess I didn't need that. I guess I didn't need any of that stuff to do what I'm doing next. And that's how I want you to think of it. Everything that's being removed right now, dear ones, the relationships, the focus that you've had on whatever it is you're doing, when it is removed, even if your health feels like it's diminished and removed, instead of rallying against it, instead of pushing, instead of trying to figure it out, can you just take a beat? Can you pause? Can you rest? And trust. This is all about trusting it. Trust that the next thing is coming along and that you don't have to swim upstream to get to it. So make room for making different choices. That's the other thing to really integrate here is there's a lot of different choices that will be presented to you in the coming months. Not all of them will be the right thing. And you really want to be in a place of calm, peaceful rest, rejuvenation, letting go, because the next things that are coming, these light codes that are coming through, are going to make it so much easier than it's been in the past. So for instance, you want to write a book, you're going to channel the book instead of sitting and, getting all freaked out and I need the perfect outline and I need a book coach and all that. That may be true, but first and foremost, it's going to be about just sitting and bringing it through, receiving the information and being the vehicle for it. So I think that that's it for now. I think that that's good enough for right now. I've given you a couple of assignments from the universe here at DearSiddiqi. And the first is to rest, relax, let go of all the expired versions of yourself. I'm curious to know what you're willing to throw on the funeral pyre of your consciousness. What are you willing to let go of? I'm letting go of leading with I'm a photographer. And I'm going to just show up like this, raw, real, no hair, no makeup in my new little tracksuit. And I'm going to just show up consistently, no matter what, and do it imperfectly, which is a big, 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 big part of what we're doing in 2023. So my invitation to you, dear ones, is if you have any questions, anything that you need guidance on, that is what I live for. That is what I'm here for on DearSiddiqi. I'm here to help you transcend those wounds and ascend to the next version of yourself that is really wanting to create awesomeness here on the planet. And I'm here to help sort you out with all the things that have been blocking you, holding you back, keeping you stuck, so that next year, 2023, when these new light codes start to really come into their full power, you are ready to receive it and ready to take action on this new identity that is being formed right now. It's like you're in the womb and your new identity is being formed. And I'm so excited. And I would love your questions. Now, I want to follow up. Last week, we had a question from Kat from Norway about writer's block. And I just spoke with Kat a couple days ago, and she said that something happened for her after I did that channeling for her. Something happened, and she had been blocked for years. And as a result of asking the questions and listening to this show and having the download, she said it was like this. And it's been a floodgate of writing after she listened to that channeling. So there is potency here. There is pure fucking magic that I'm bringing to you. Make use of it. Take advantage of it. write your questions to DearSiddiqi at siddiqiray.com or in the comments, and someone from my team will follow through with you. And I will see you next week to do another episode. And I hope that you will feel into and sit with the message from today of it's time to let go of these expired versions of ourselves, to acknowledge them, to bless them, and to lovingly send them on their way, because something so much more omnipotent and awesome is coming for you. I know it is. And I cannot wait to help you usher it in 2023. Thank you for being here as part of Dear Siddiqi. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on LinkedIn, please comment. If you're watching on Facebook, please comment. I would love to know how this is landing for you and if you have any of your own personal questions. And until next time, mwah, 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 thank you for joining me for another episode. Oh, did you want to say hello? Oh, little magic mama, the little schnoodle wants to say hello. So thank you for joining us, and have a fantastic day, everyone.